Today, we're going to tell a story about a man named Boris. And what's really interesting is how his very logical, very precise way of thinking, the kind of mindset you'd expect from an engineer, ended up saving him from a really sneaky danger. A danger that was hiding in a supplement that seemed totally harmless.
And really, it all boils down to this one simple question. We see that word natural and our brains just automatically think safe, right? But is that really true? Is it always the case? Let's find out.
So, let's meet Boris. He's a 58-year-old engineer, and his whole life philosophy is right there on the screen. If it's not documented, it doesn't exist. Seriously, he applies this to everything. His job, his finances, you name it. For Boris, if there's no data, it's just noise.
So you can imagine, when his doctor told him he had high cholesterol and gave him a new prescription, Boris didn't get flustered. Nope, he treated it just like any other engineering problem. He needed a systematic, logical plan of attack.
And his main tool for this? An app on his phone. But for Boris, the Health360 app wasn't just some gimmick. Oh no, it was his command center. It was the single source of truth for anything and everything related to his health. Every single detail had to be logged.
So that engineer's brain just kicked right into gear. The second he left that doctor's office, he didn't just shove the prescription in his pocket. He immediately logged the new medication, Statins, and set a super strict daily reminder. In his world, there's just no room for guesswork. If it's not in the system, it's not happening.
But Boris is also a pretty curious guy. So, like a lot of us would, he starts doing his own research online. And he keeps seeing this one thing pop up over and over again, a natural alternative for cholesterol called red yeast rice.
And right here, this is where a little logical bug, a fallacy that gets so many of us, creeps into the system. Boris sees the word natural, and his mind just jumps to the conclusion that it must be safe. He's thinking, hey, what's the harm? It's natural. It'll just give my treatment a little boost.
So in his head, these two things existed in totally separate worlds. You've got the atorvastatin over here, the serious, doctor-prescribed, regulated medication. And then way over here, you've got this harmless little natural supplement he found on the internet. He just didn't see them as being connected at all.
Okay, but here it is. This is the moment everything changes. Because, true to his nature, the very first thing Boris does after buying the supplement is he opens his Health360 app to document it. And as he's typing in red yeast rice and sees it pop up right under his prescription medication, something clicks. That engineer's instinct just takes over. And this is why his mindset was so critical. He stopped seeing a prescription and a supplement. Instead, he saw two new components being introduced into one very complex system, his body. And what does any good engineer do before they combine new parts? You got it. You run a compatibility check, always.
And just look at how precise his question is. He didn't just type in, "Is this okay?" He asked a specific technical question to the app's AI assistant. He's using his tools to find a problem before it even has a chance to become one.
And the AI, because it already had all his health data, didn't hesitate. The answer it gave back was instant, it was crystal clear, and honestly, it was pretty terrifying. It stopped him dead in his tracks.
Just imagine that flashing on your phone screen for a second. That big, bold warning. One simple alert, all because he logged his data, might have just saved him from a genuine medical emergency. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
So what was the big deal? What was this hidden danger? Well, it turns out that natural red yeast rice contains a chemical compound called monocolin K. And get this, monocolin K is almost chemically identical to the active ingredient in prescription statin drugs. So Boris wasn't about to add a supplement. He was about to accidentally double his dose of a powerful medication.
And doubling that dose can have some really, really scary consequences. We're talking about serious muscle damage, a condition called rhabdomyolysis. We're talking about potential liver and kidney damage from the toxic overload. This wasn't some minor side effect. This was a potential disaster waiting to happen inside his body.
This whole thing completely changed the game for Boris. It shifted his role. He wasn't just a patient anymore, just passively following instructions. He was now an active, informed partner in his own healthcare.
So when he called his doctor, he didn't just say, yeah, my app said this was bad. No way. He was able to have a real, intelligent conversation explaining the specific pharmacological interaction the AI had flagged. It was a whole different level of discussion. And his doctor's reaction really says it all. The doctor was blown away, telling him that this is exactly how technology is supposed to be used in healthcare. Not to replace the doctor, but to create a stronger, smarter partnership with them.
It's what modern health responsibility looks like.
And that's really what this whole story leaves us with. It's a pretty powerful reminder that anything we add to our routine, even if it has the natural label slapped on it, can have major invisible effects. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What silent interactions could be hiding in your own health plan?